nothing but a shit show. And if you don't give a fuck what people say, you're better off, really. If I gave a fuck what people thought about me, Jesus Christ. Do it. Let's fucking wrestle. Fuck you and your goddamn 4 tits. I will poke your fucking tits out. I will bash you in the head, and I will, I'll bring you down the street, bitch. Let's fight. Maybe that's why I got told no a lot. Maybe that's why I didn't get the big money or anything like that, because I basically told everyone to fuck off. Listen, asshole. Hey, everybody. Hello. Welcome. And Mr. Big Red Producer's here. Hi.
Ma'am, every single time. Listen here, asshole. I know she was talking to me.
Is that what I said to you?
She was talking to me. Yeah, exactly.
Listen here, asshole. Welcome to Trash Talk.
Trash Talk,
one trash
it is.
To another.
We're here. Welcome, everyone, back to the show that never ends. And man, Madusa, it's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, because you're never available anymore because you're Mr. Financial fucking important.
Yeah,
Mr. $1 million car salesman.
Blame work. And what I told you was I'm $1 million a year producer. The number is actually 1.5. But who's counting?
Oh. Wow, some wrestling company should hit you up. If you can make that much money, you could fucking fudge the pencil real good.
Yeah, who's counting? I don't pencil fuck anybody, for the record.
No, but you're in the car business. Everybody out there telling me he's full of shit.
But I am in the car business. That is correct.
Yes.
And have been for almost 14 years. So.
Yeah, he's a brainiac. He's good with numbers.
Over 30% of my life. So.
So welcome. Yay. Let's give it up for Mr. Big Red.
I'm getting old is the point.
Yeah, you're 40 years old and you haven't had 2 fingers up your ass yet.
Correct.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let's rephrase that. You have not had a physical with 2 fingers up your ass yet.
Assume things like that.
What are you drinking?
Non-alcoholic Corona. Hold on.
They that?
We're going to do it live on the air. I'm going to find out how bad this is for me with your app. You ready?
So everyone knows out there I'm a health nut, right? Okay, so I finally got Red. He's doing really good. He's doing better at things in some choices, but he's still drinking the prime bullshit that's going to end up giving him a fucking heart attack, and I'll be pissed, and then I will fucking finish him off. But anyway, I got him to download this app, Yuka. Yuka. It's with a carrot on the front. It's badass. It's so good. And I told him, hey, when in doubt, you're not sure, just scan with the Yuka app, whatever you buy, like food, your shampoos. It won't do vitamins, but everything else. So what does that say there, bro?
It's analyzing the product information because the product was not found. That is wonderful.
Oh, probably because it's alcohol. I don't know.
Go to product.
I think I scanned
74 out of 100, ma'am. 74 out of 100 for my
the Corona non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic. That's correct.
Thank you.
So, what Madusa failed to say for all of you out there.
Here we go.
Is, and it's beer flavored water, CJ. I see you, Braves fan. Stop it. And we might talk about Bailey, but probably not. Anywho.
Oh, look at our porn stars here. Jace Hero.
Jace Hero.
Does that sound like a porn star? Jace
definitely sounds like a porn star. That or a gamer. Either way. Could be both.
Yeah, could be both.
Nerds of the world unite. You know, the nerds are the freaky ones in the bedroom. I'm just saying. So anyway, Madusa owes Logan Paul an apology. We're going to talk about him and his world championship.
Because you probably picked up one of the prime bottles that happened to have something halfway decent in it. But the rest of the shit that's in it will cause fucking heart attacks.
I scanned it and sent her a picture of the scan, and it was in the green. It was good, and she can't deal with it right now.
No, shit's not good for you. Whatever.
She says it's not good for you. It's made with coconut water, ma'am. How bad can it possibly be?
I digress. Whatever.
Here
All
she
right.
goes.
So, yeah, whatever. So
What?
tonight's show is going to be rocking because we're going to get to the point on a few things. Because I know I got some shit I need to talk about and just blow off the steam. And I know Big Red does. But again, he can be my mouthpiece on some things, but yet I pedal back on a few things, but he doesn't. He does not hold back. So this is why I love him. So before we get started, I got a few upcoming appearances. I will be at the George, is it Tragos?
Tragos.
I think it is Tragos. Yeah.
Tragos. For those that want
George
to Google it.
Tragos, Luthez Hall of Fame. That is the weekend of July 17th, 18th, 19th. I am receiving the Luthez Award, which I'm very honored in Iowa, Waterloo, Iowa. And there's more to be said about that. I've never been there before, so and I just there's some great possibilities there. So when I go there, I'm going to check out a few things. And so just remind me, Big Red, because I'll tell you off air what I'm talking about because I haven't told you yet. So big things might happen there. That's all I'm saying. Can't speak of it now, but after July 17, 18, 19, I will. And then I'll be at the gathering. I think that's in North Kakalaki, and that is on the second, and I'll be there signing autographs between 10 a.m. and 2. And Big Red's going to be there. So if you like to see us both, he can be with me while I'm signing autographs so you can get us both. Maybe I'll bring some 8x10s of us both with our podcast or whatever, and we'll sign some autographs.
And I was going to take pictures for Madusa as well. There because
maybe
I
I
will
should
be
bring some trash talk hats.
So I have a trash talk hat. The problem is it doesn't fit my big ass head. You cannot read this number, ma'am, but it says 7 3/4. And that's with the short haircut. 7 3/4. Your buckle hat, I have to put all the way to the end and then it keeps popping. So it doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
Oh. Well,
you're discriminating against those of us with huge heads. And
with
that
big heads.
You should be ashamed.
How did you ever walk through a door? I mean,
thankfully,
what the fuck?
The American Medical Association or whatever has made it so they have to be like 3 feet wide. So we're good. That's how I get through the door. Sometimes I have to turn sideways.
What's up, AJ Kanzana? How the hell are you, bro? Whoop whoop. You big-headed folk. Y'all big-headed. None of you can walk into a room with heads that big. I'm just saying. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna have to get some specialty hats for the waterhead babies.
That is correct. And the thing is, like, legitimately, I like a fitted hat.
Hi,
anyway.
CJ. Sorry. We need to say hi to everybody. Hey, Fernando. What's up, Dirt Track staff?
Listen, CJ. Hold on,
hello,
Madusa.
porn star.
CJ is a Bailey fan. He's also a Braves fan. I've already acknowledged him. And when I acknowledge somebody, that means Madusa acknowledged somebody. It's like acknowledging your tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
There you
go.
Throw the one,
CJ. AJ's here. Of course, Dirt Track Stephanie. She's always here. We're back in the cold, almost winter-like weather up north. What the fuck is that? It was 83 degrees here in Goldsboro today. You'll have to elaborate, man, because I don't know what that means.
It was 104 heat index here in Florida.
Yeah. Madusa lives in the tropics. I live in North Carolina, 2 states north. So we don't understand what this cold weather nonsense is.
Cold weather?
Maria, your faithful listeners here, says congratulations, as does Fernando, and CJ does as well.
What's up, Graciela?
Yeah. So Maria also says coconut water is delicious. See?
It is delicious. It's delicious depending on where they get the coconut water from. Allegedly. I drink just organic coconut, then I know what the hell I'm drinking. What's up, Scuttlebutt?
What in the actual fuck is this, Madusa?
Just FYI, Red, this is the artist formerly known the Mortis Thesaurus. I got name brand change. Whatever, porn star.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know this person. Where's Morty?
Thank you. Jay's hero is not it's not it, bro.
Yeah, Morty from Uranus, Missouri, as has been well established on this show. We deserve better from Mortis. Oh, wait a minute. Darren Walker is here. This is
What's up,
representation of
Darren?
Medusa. He is from across the pond hanging out with us late. So he
Are
lives
you
in,
really,
I
Darren?
believe it's Great Britain.
Woo!
Yes, ma'am. He is
I
here.
wish I could get my sound clips to work.
And Michael's wrestling channel is here.
Hello, Wrestling Channel. You got any
Yeah.
scoop poop?
Yeah, so he is here. He's here with us every week. Now, one thing before
London, England.
I didn't put this in the notes.
What?
Fernando points out R.I.P. Sabu. So Sabu died this past week.
Yes.
ECW original and
I was
wrestler.
just with him. It was great. He gave me a big hug. I told him he looked great too. And I was with him when he did his last match there at GCW or wherever it was during WrestleMania weekend. And I just like, brother, your last match, what a way to go out. And he's like, yeah. He's so soft spoken, you know? But he looked so good. He did. And he was just there drinking a beer, just slowly minding his business, just being the cool Sabu that he is. Yep.
Proof that hard living doesn't always, I mean, you've got he put himself through it. And if you saw the match with Joey Janela,
Yeah.
Sabu didn't leave anything on the table. This is the same man who, in a barbed wire match, had to be cut out of the ring back in the 90s during the ECW heyday. I forget who it was with. Was it Mick
Oh
Foley,
yeah.
maybe? But he had to be cut out of the ring. He's also the Sheik's nephew, the Sheik, not the Iron
Like
Sheik.
legit.
Yeah, the Detroit Sheik. Yeah, really just a badass dude. I wasn't an ECW guy, Medusa. I'm not a GCW guy. It's okay. Everybody likes their own
It's all
stuff.
right. It's all right. But I mean, I was there because I just wanted to check out other, independent scenes and see what was going on. I wanted to check out the all Japanese girls that came out. They sang, they did a concert on stage, kind of like what they do in Japan. So it was really good. It was really good being on the other, on the other side for once instead of just being always busy at WrestleMania with WWE. It was good just to be out there with people and just hang out and have a good time. Absolutely
And
loved it.
Fernando has it. Thank you, Fernando. I knew it was one of them. It was Terry Funk. They had to cut Sabu out of that
Oh,
movie.
okay.
So
Yeah, good old
that
Terry.
checks
Of
out.
course it was him.
That definitely checks out.
Yeah.
But he was definitely an original. He was really different. It's unfortunate when somebody that like, respect, admire, and just talk to passes on.
Oof.
Hopefully, any afflictions he has are gone now, and he can rest in peace. And I mean that
Yeah.
genuinely, because it does. It
He
was
it
just out
really
of,
hit
it was
it
just out of
really hit
nowhere.
hard when his
Yeah,
girl passed away.
yeah.
Jeannie, what was her name? She was a bodybuilder like in the 80s, one of the top bodybuilders. Guys, what was her name?
Talking about Sabu's girlfriend.
Yes.
Mm,
Oh,
I
what
don't.
was it? The blonde-haired guys. Come on, the blonde-haired girl. She was an 80s bodybuilder with Corey Evers, all of them back in the day. God
Melissa
damn.
Coates.
Yes, Melissa Coates. Yeah.
Melissa Coates. Yeah.
Man, if you
So,
pulled up some of her pictures back in the day, god damn, she was hot.
well,
Fuck.
there are people that could say the same about you. We're going to get to that later
Oh,
when we
you're such a
discuss
dick.
why Medusa hates wrestling.
Fuck off.
You knew it was coming.
God.
But no, I mean it's genuinely serious. The Sabu has died, and somebody who won't give up the professional wrestling into his 60s. We have another one who won't give up the professional wrestling into his 70s. One Terry Bollea. Some of you know him as Hulk Hogan.
Oh
Has
god, here we
decided
go. You
that
guys get ready. He's gonna go on a fucking rant about goddamn Hogan. Here we go.
he's gonna have a professional wrestling shoot fighting thing with Eric Bischoff because they
Mm,
haven't fleeced enough money out of people in the last 30 years and
mm.
haven't told enough lies or been racist enough. Medusa,
Yes.
genuine question. If you have heat like Hulk has heat, when is enough enough? And I mean that. Like, when is it enough?
Well, the sad thing is I can't answer. I mean, I want to answer it, but it's not going to be the right answer that everyone wants. But I'm not here to try to please everybody. So because I can't, I won't, and it just it doesn't happen anymore. So I mean, it's kind of like the old days. Either the TV was black and white and it was never color, and that's the how we saw things, either black or white, and it was easy to make decisions. Nowadays, ah, ay, ay, ay. So anyway, I mean,
That's
when is enough is enough? I don't know. Well, is it? I mean, do people say that about Ric Flair too? You know what I mean? Did they say that about Moolah and Mae Young? I mean, they were wrestling way past their 70s with the Dudley Boys. Um, who else? I mean, and it can go on. But I think what we're feeling here from fucking Red here is that there's a personal feeling. He's letting his personal feelings get involved that he feels Hogan should just step the fuck away. Now, I do have to agree on one small percentage part of when he got booed the fuck out of the building when he was trying to promote his American beer with WWE, probably just should have took a step back, regrouped, and like I said, I would have came back all black in NWO and come back as a heel, motherfuckers, and embraced it and just, and kept going forward. I never lay down for nothing myself. Never. I don't care if it was good, bad, or different. I don't give a fuck if people like me or not. It's what I believed. It's what I wanted. It's what was I needed to do. And he probably has that mindset because of the entertainment, business and stuff. So there's that. Red. What's your excuse?
I just don't like Hulk Hogan. I think he's a douchebag. I was always a Randy
Mm.
Savage guy, and he was a control freak, but at least he looked awesome, dressed to the nines.
Mm.
You remember Savage during the Team Savage days, Deuce.
Yeah.
Um, he was psycho. The
I'm
dude
just
was
fucking with my aura ring people, but go
the
ahead.
dude
Yes.
was crazy, but Macho Man was at least lovable and probably
Well,
pretty much who he was with just the volume turned up whenever the camera was on. Hogan is so fake, it's disgusting. And don't get me started on that Ric Flair, because, John Cena now has more world championships. Thank God. I'd rather see Cena have them than Flair. Um,
okay. All right.
but I do want to ask you a question. And this
Okay.
is this is a genuine question. I do want to ask you. Um,
I'm listening.
why do you think wrestlers in 2025 are afraid to embrace heat and be real heels? Like, oh, I don't know, some guy named Rick Rude who you have a pretty good knowledge of. What is it about the wrestling business and why wrestlers seem so fragile?
Okay, so before I answer that, who can you give me an example of who's acting that way and I'd be able to tell you because I don't know. Okay, so I get it's hard to decipher who's a real heel as in the women's division. Let's pick the women's division. Who's a super real heel compares to a baby face. It's like I think there's so much trying to get their own shit over and it's the character, but what character are you embracing? So Stephanie Vasquez or whatever her name is, Vasquez or whatever.
Valkyr. Yeah, Stephanie Valkyr.
Valkyr. Okay. Um, I thought for sure she would be a fucking heel. And she should have embraced being a fucking heel. But instead, it's positiveness on the social media. I do no wrong and I've done everything without stepping on people. And then there's this huge people absolutely love her. She's like a baby face. And so I think a lot of them get caught in that center where they're healed, but they go for the the cheer heel or something. I don't know. I love the villainous heels. I love a character that can tell me that they're a fucking heel, and I love that they don't give a shit. Because to me, that is a money-making machine, period. So, I thought one of Hogan's greatest assets was him being a babyface for that long time, and when he turned heel with NWO, it was great. No one expected it, did they? And so, I thought it was great, and that's when that shit was believable. And, um, Rick Rude, of course, and there was so many other like, The Undertaker was a heel, but he was like a superhero heel. You know what I mean? It's like hating Spider-Man, but you can't, you know? I don't know, or Iron Man and all of that. That's to me is like Undertaker falls in that category to me of those that type of image, you know? I can't think of one girl besides Luna or Scary Sherry that was a phenomenal heel. The next best heel as a woman was Bull Nakano, in her day, Aja Kong, um, also, Monster Ripper was, absolutely amazing, which was the same woman I wrestled in the WWF, oh, God, like Harvey Wimpleman and Bertha Faye. I mean, she was oh my God, just one of those funny, arrogant, didn't give a shit. Um, the way she looked, but she was the queen of beauty attitude, and she put herself in the category of like a Rick Rude heel. Bertha Faye did because of him being, and whatever, and his Rick Rude's skinny ass legs, and then he had this muscle little top body, and it just pissed people off, and he thought he was the best looking thing ever. And let's see. And there's others. But I mean, who else? What other women that are super heel that it would be great to see them as a heel and fucking finally get over with it? Not one fucking woman.
In
Who?
the in the modern day,
Today.
Tessa Blanchard. She's the only one. She is the correct answer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but
Tessa
she's
is Tessa
she's
is
just looks
the
like all the rest though. I mean, believe me, I'm a Tessa fan. You know, all know I'm a
yeah, I
Tessa
know
fan.
you are,
But she
but and
looks like the rest. Yeah.
that's why I bring her up. But she does embrace the fact
She's
that she's a
embracing the heel image now. Yes, because she's got to.
yep. Yeah, she doesn't have a choice because of the baggage. And
No,
she
to me, that's the people's baggage. Whatever. Okay.
I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. Like you said, they've made amends.
CJ, shut the fuck up. We have not spoke about Bailey yet.
The parties involved. Someone called me. Did they talk about Bailey? No, we haven't talked about Bailey.
I'm
Bailey
just
is
kidding.
Bailey is not a heel, but was far more entertaining as a heel than she was a babyface.
Yes, yes.
Um, I think that if Charlotte had leaned into it, she'd be fine. I think Tiffy Time is a natural heel.
I do
Um,
too. She's
Fernando said Diana Peraza.
see,
Diana
I
Peraza,
don't know. That just
she
didn't.
has she has to be one of the most misused people that I've seen in AEW. The
Yeah.
five-time TNA Women's Champion. Um, I think, I think um, that Bianca has it in her if they
To
let
be
her
a
loose.
heel?
If they let her loose, but the problem is she sells so much merch and people like the song, and now she's hurt. Um,
Bianca got hurt.
yes, she hurt her hand at WrestleMania.
Her hand.
Yep, Joe Wrestling is here. He's got a couple of really good comments.
Okay,
Roxanne
Joe
Perez,
Wrestling. So Roxanne Perez is getting there. Yeah, but still. I mean, Taya too, but it's nothing. Not her, but just there's you guys, when you think of Lunas and all of them, it's complete opposite.
Yeah, and there's a point made
Every
here.
single one of these women come out with perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect fucking everything. I'm talking
There's
about
that
let's
one.
embrace our character.
There's one that embraced her character because she was so different. China,
Yeah, yeah. I
as
mean,
you
yeah.
call her, Joni. But yeah, she was very, very, very good. Um, and like you said, Marlena helped her be very good when she debuted in '97. And being a woman with DX and Shawn Michaels and Triple H gave her a different edge that most people didn't have the ability to have.
Now,
That's
someone
why.
said Jada Parker too. I think that she's just a born fucking bitch heel.
Oh, that's Fernando. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A
Fernando's one of your most
born bitch
loyal
heel.
friends. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and you can just see it, the body language, the tone, I
Oh
mean,
god, yeah. Yep.
but the one thing that worked with Team Savage, and this isn't to blow smoke up your ass because you know me better than that. I don't do that. When you had Gorgeous George and you had Molly Holly, who I forget what they called her then, Miss Madness, I get, and then they had you. That is a team of women that you're not necessarily heelish, but it was a different presentation because you were women.
Mm. Mm.
And then you get to see, like you call her, Mona, do a handspring elbow on a man in
Mhm.
1999. You know, things that you didn't see back then, where she would do that and that sort of thing. But it wasn't necessarily that you guys were good heels, because when Savage and Sid got hooked up together, they were cheered. They weren't heels either.
Yeah.
So, because people love the Sid Vicious look and they love the Macho Man, he's a timeless act. So then they put Medusa with two D's. You'll all get that in 10 minutes. And they put
You're so
Gorgeous
stupid.
George and Molly Holly or Mona together. And the next thing you know, you
They were
have,
trying to build a faction, kinda like,
yeah,
like, Dangerous Alliance or something, but he wanted to start getting some people in our fucking crib.
yeah. And oh, Missy Hyatt is a heel. I don't know. She was 1993. Missy Hyatt was a whole different animal. For those of you that know her, when she managed the Nasty Boys, Britt Baker got over as a heel in 2021 and for the next
Mm,
18 months. Fair point, because she is a natural heel in real life. Um, but she's no longer on television because she's a natural heel in real life. So sometimes you got to dial that shit back. I
I
said that,
don't know.
not
Sometimes
Medusa.
you embrace that realness and bring it out, but I didn't think she realized what she was or what she was doing or what she was even accomplishing as a heel because her main personality got in the way. She was just in front of herself. She
Yeah.
just got in her own way.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
Naomi, yes, she's
Ah,
embracing it. Let's see what
she's so
happens.
bad though. She's so awful in the ring. She's so bad. She's so bad.
You think Naomi's bad?
In the ring, I think she's horrible. I
Oh
really
my
do.
god.
In my opinion, she sucks.
Uh,
Okay. I think she's
oh
horrible
my
in the ring.
god.
Oh, Fernando's got a really good one because she didn't give a fuck, and that's
Yeah,
Jazz.
Jazz, yeah. Yeah,
Jazz was a
she's
badass.
overlooked. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's definitely overlooked.
always, like, because she falls in that category between the swimsuit models and the
Yeah,
wrestler.
she's forgotten. Even when people start trying to bring her up and she's starting to get flowers, and then it's like the next day she's just totally forgotten again. Just fucking
Well, her,
done.
well, her and fucking Rodney are legit. Rodney
Yes, they
Mack. I
are.
mean, they
They're
are
one of my
legit.
favorite people. One of my
Yeah.
favorite people in the world.
What do they call him? Red Dog? Isn't that right? Red
Something like
Dog?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, something
And
like
then
that.
Fernando's
No.
got Angelina Love. Now, Angelina did the sex sell, but she always was the chicken shit heel. So that's an interesting thing, too, not to switch gears on you.
Yeah, Angelina Love. I guess I haven't really seen a lot of her work, but yeah, she could be just a mean little heel. She could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as the beautiful people, it's
Yeah.
particularly in TNA. But that's another thing. Why, when a wrestler becomes and this is not in the notes, guys. Medusa's like, what the fuck is he doing tonight? Um,
I'm
we
looking
we
at my
didn't talk we didn't talk about any of this. When a wrestler has a character, and I'm going to use John Moxley. You guys say we don't talk about AEW enough. Here we go. Buckle
Okay.
up, Buttercups.
Okay.
John Moxley comes into AEW as this kick-ass, wants to wrestle a, GCW style, ECW style, whatever. He turns heel and is the leader of the Blackpool Combat Club and now the Death Riders, and he becomes a chicken shit. Why is it the compulsion of professional wrestling creators and bookers to turn their badass characters? Because they did the same thing with Steve Austin in 2001. Why do you turn your badass character that doesn't fear anybody into some chicken shit heel that needs his friends to win? All the time, Madusa.
I don't know. I think it's just a marketing ploy. I do. I don't I just want to know who is at the table making those decisions. I don't know. There's a reason. I
Well,
don't
and the
know.
reason I asked that question the way I asked it is John Moxley was always presented
I'm not a
as,
Moxley fan at
I know
all.
you're
He
not,
just
but
I'm not.
he was always presented as
Personally,
this.
he was a nice guy. Let's just keep this shit separated. But I just don't like the character at all. I'm just not the character fan.
You mean you don't like John Moxley talking like this out on the TV, telling you how he's going to the
Biscuits and
company?
butter.
Yeah, let me growl.
Biscuits.
Yeah,
That's who he
Flavor.
reminds me of.
Him and Eddie Kingston selling fucking 40s to minors down at the Quickie Mart. True story. Would you like a pack of Mentos to go with that, kid? So that's what Eddie Kingston is doing these days. You heard it here first.
Oh my god. Well, who do I like better, Alundra Blaze or Medusa? Well, Medusa was just I mean, when she was just a character that wouldn't take no for an answer. And she just did it her way, no matter the circumstance. I mean, respectfully, you tell me no, I'm going to find another fucking way. And it was always up against a brick wall, is what this bitch ran into. So she always had to find a way. And that was her controversy of life. It was like, um, a blue, as I always said, a blueprint, I mean, is not a destination. It's just, anyway. And then Blaze, she was a corporate girl that just went out there, did her job, that she was so into wrestling and this is what she wanted to do. And she was a fan of everybody and she was happy and she couldn't do no wrong. And yeah, that would have been great to keep going like that and turned into a fucking heel.
How hard was that character change for you to go from the badass Medusa to the white meat baby face Alundra Blaze?
I mean, as you could tell, I didn't say much. And that's the best way. I mean, a baby face, is, you know, I don't know. Everyone has their own. A baby face can be anything nowadays, but a baby face, me, I was just very, yes, ma'am, and yes, that's right. No, it's not, and okay, and I mean, the transition from Medusa, which was in Japan, which I was still trying to get my footing, trying to be the American hero badass in Japan, and then coming back to the States where everyone feared me because I was in Japan for so long. They didn't want to wrestle. And then transitioning into a Lunder where I had to clean up the whole image, drop it all, and then go back into Medusa. So yeah, I had everything to look forward to when I was going back into Medusa. I had a lot to say.
Well, and we know that reason you became Alundra Blaze is Bill Watts killed Medusa, and he
Oh,
killed Paul Heyman. So that's in Medusa's book. It's also been talked about on this show.
yes, the woman who would be king. Get your
Oh shoot!
book. Get
You
your
didn't
book
even
on
get
my
the whole.
website, medusa.com, and you can get it signed. Yes, just go to my website. Or you can download the Audible audio version. So it is available. Doing well, and thank you, everybody. Okay, what now?
Oh, unfortunately, 24 Killian points out the Killon. Sorry if I said that wrong. Points out the one problem on Twitch, guys, is if you're on Twitch watching this on Twitch and an ad pops up, it's because you're not subscribed. Isn't that right, Madusa?
Correct. You guys gotta, yeah, subscribe to the Twitch channel if you're watching it on there, or you can do Turbo or
And we
Prime, I believe. Yeah,
and
that
we do
is.
apologize for any inconvenience that way, but that is how the system works, and we have no control over that. So, again, 24K Lion. Thank you so much. I won't make that
Okay.
mistake
All
again.
right, Carrot. I'm just gonna
But
call you Carrot. Get it?
Alundra
24
was
Carrot.
look at this. Alundra was my favorite as a kid. When I was a teenager, Madusa was my
Ooh.
idol. There's two
Oh,
reasons for that.
there's 2
Uh,
reasons. That's good. That'd be a T-shirt. Alundra was my favorite as a kid. Medusa was my idol.
yeah,
Oh no, as a teenager, Medusa was my idol. That's pretty good.
yeah. Well, and that I would assume is a woman. I was thinking it was a guy saying that for a second. I apologize, Christina. That's why I said there were two reasons for that, Deuce. Um,
Mhm.
mhm.
Yes, okay.
You
Okay,
were a sex symbol.
24K. Okay,
Embrace it.
Carrot. What'd you say?
Embrace it. You were a sex symbol. So
Yeah, because I got my tits done like 3 times, about the size of my goddamn head.
we're going to talk about plastic surgery one day, so we can hear about all of this.
But I have
And
nothing
as
now.
as your listeners know, I have no vested
I have
interest
just
in
my
food.
naturals.
I'm just curious about the process and the thought process
That
and
was
the
my
emotion
swimsuit, by the way.
and all
Yeah.
that. That is not a swimsuit. That is what she struts ass around the house in.
And
She
tease my
will.
husband. Yes. You know what my husband says to me when I walk around in my bathing suit? He goes, "God damn, Dad, walking around like a fucking snack."
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's
nice to
so
be 60
good.
and hot. Tell him, Deuce.
Do what?
It's nice to be 60 and hot. That could be a shirt too. 60 and hot. There you
Dude,
go.
I'm 62, dumbass.
I was being polite.
Oh, wait,
Um,
I'm not 62 yet. Fuck. The hell? I don't know. Am I? I just
I
turned
don't know.
61. Okay, I just turned 61. Jesus. So
Am
I
I?
don't know. Bailey, someone said, what's that? CJ. CJ. So he wants
Okay.
to hopefully Bailey's all natural. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
she's got a nice fucking trunk of junk on her. She's got a nice ass.
Badonkadonk is what you're looking for. Yeah, she's got a
Whatever.
fat ass.
Old.
Respectfully. So, because it's
No,
still
she's got a
showbiz,
nice ass.
folks. It's still showbiz. I saw the comments, and we're going to get there on Medusa's tweet. And quite frankly, we understand it's showbiz, and
Since we're
that's
talking about badonkadonk, let's just
yeah.
jump into it since we're
Oh,
there.
you want your tweet up since we're here? Hold
I
on.
mean, guys. Okay,
It's
so
it's almost comical, but go ahead, Medusa. You set the table for us.
okay. So I put something up, right?
I got it on
Harley
screen.
Cameron, which is highly talented, beautiful. This is nothing personal. I was just like, I love her that she's trying so damn hard. And then she was wrestling the other cute chick, and I don't know what Harley was doing, but she spins her around, grabs her ass. The other girl points to the fucking air, tries to bring her up, and then looks awkward. She doesn't know what to do. And then Harley starts chewing on her ass. And I just said, I reposted it like, why? And so let's talk about some of these answers. So my my repost got over 17,000 likes. Just this, me
681 reposts and 712 comments.
681 reposts and fucking 713 comments.
And that one
So
right there, Deuce, that 1.9 million is the number of impressions that this repost got.
you're
So,
kidding. Wow.
respectfully, Ms. Cameron, Medusa helped you get more eyes on you than you've ever seen because you are in AEW and you're reduced to collision. So let's establish that first.
Yeah,
Okay,
look
now
what I
you make
just
me
did.
feel.
But she's a doll and she can sing like hell and she's beautiful. Whatever. This has nothing. She knows any good person. I mean, in this business, when I critique or whatever. I just said, why? Like, I'm talking to myself and I printed, I'm like, God damn, why, Harley? Why? You don't need to do this shit. But anyway, so, but anyway, here's here. Daniel Rodriguez. More than ever before, Harley Cameron is turning into a national treasure. Oh boy. Corey Gerard. This is all on X. You can't critique or say anything about AEW. The fans will not like it. Oh, okay. Like I give a shit. Blake, this was a beautiful thing to see in the morning. I mean, people just love sexual stuff. It's okay. No disrespect. This is from Giovanni, or no, Giovanni. Giovanni. I was going to call them Dildo, but it's Del Dio. No disrespect to you, Medusa, but I think it's all in good fun. And I don't even like or watch AEW, and know that Harley is one of the best things about it. Okay, everyone has their own opinion. Yeah, no shit. That's my job. The Merchant of Death. And he puts, yeah, no shit. That's my job.
I have one here from Skytail, Medusa.
Yeah.
Why do two strong, empowered females bother you? Nobody was telling them to act this way, unlike most of what you did in your career.
Okay, where is that?
That's Skytail under
Oh, I
like the
don't know.
latest posts. Yeah.
One of the latest posts.
Yeah.
So, okay, read it again.
Skytail says, why do two strong, empowered females bother you? Nobody was telling them to act this way, unlike most of what you did in your career.
Okay, exactly. You just answered it for me. I
Yeah.
don't need to say anymore. Next.
And then there's one from Kendall who says, y'all
No
snapping in
one
the
told
comment.
them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
y'all snapping in the comment section when all she said was why. That was
That's
funny to
so
me.
good, though. You know what? This is good. I mean, if one word can trigger people, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is that you did exactly what you wanted to do. You got a discussion started. You got people thinking
Yes.
about it. But here's the thing: to that dude's point that I read his where he thinks you're offended by empowered women, which we know is bullshit.
Oh
Um,
boy.
you
uh,
know what it is like to be told you have to do this and don't have a choice. The other thing is Harley Cameron is a very talented individual, musician, ventriloquist, learning how to wrestle. She's extremely talented. And her and
mhm.
Anna Jay are friends, so I'm sure they both agreed to this, and that's fine. That wasn't the point of the question. Are we revisiting the Attitude Era in 2025?
I mean, you don't need to do that. I mean, because they wanted to, okay. But if you want to talk about wrestling and psychology, you didn't have to do it to get a rise out of people or to think it was great or funny or special or whatever. You know, if you're there to wrestle and you're trying to tell a story, there's other things to do than that. To me, when a woman does this or somebody that does something so flagrant that it's just out of the fucking realm of whatever they're doing and it don't make sense, it's because they don't know what to do. So they do something offbeat and it's, you can tell that Anna Jay didn't she was unexpected or it was awkward or whatever. So it is what it is. You know, in my wrestling career, I was probably uncomfortable with situations and reacted to things the same, in a same feeling or sense. And it happens. And I'm not, you know, trashing her. I just said why. And so I would take it as, all right. So if I was her and she was me and she retweeted something and I saw it, why, I'd look at it and go, well, why would she put that? I wonder. Yeah, I know. It's probably something like, it was stupid or, it wasn't had nothing to do with unless there was some big ass angle about chewing on each other's asses, then I'm totally missing something because I haven't seen that. Then I'm okay. Then I'm stepping out of my fucking, then shame on me. So if it's a chew ass match, then just shame on me.
So apparently, Darren Walker says the match was Anna versus Megan Bain. Harley and Anna did this before the match started. Okay. I mean, I didn't watch.
I
I
didn't
can tell
watch
you
it
all
either.
right
All I
now.
saw was that. That's what
I
she
watched.
posted, so I reacted.
Sorry, I dropped my phone, which has our notes on it. But my answer to that is I don't watch AEW much anymore. And we're going to talk about that too in a minute because they're putting on one of their tentpole pay-per-views, and I'm not sure that it's worth $50. So we'll let the audience decide here in a minute whether
Yeah.
it is
I
or
mean, if
not.
that was the women's match, I wouldn't pay $50 for it. So there's my answer.
But again, you being called hypocritical under this post because you didn't call out Stephanie Valkyr. Apparently, people
What'd
did
she
not
do?
hear one of our very first episodes where you did indeed call out Booker T,
Yes, I
and
did.
and
Yeah.
it got all sorts of heat because you called out Booker T, who's doing commentary on NXT, and did not agree with some of the things he said and the nature he said them with.
Remember, these
And
are
you
just my feelings and my opinions. I'm not here to sway anybody. So if you don't like it, you don't fucking like it. I don't care. So my opinion is my opinion. And I'm not trying to change opinions or put opinions in people's fucking heads. These are just my views. So back to you, Mr. Red.
Well, no, my point was very simple. Booker T, you and Charmel are friends, and you called him
Yes,
out on your podcast, and it got picked up, tweeted, and
because I
retweeted.
I love
Even
them. And
put in
I'm
the dirt
like, God
sheet.
damn, Booker, what the fuck you doing, dumbass?
Exactly. That's my point. You guys are peers and friends, and you called him
Yes.
out on it a year ago. It was one of the very first things we ever talked about was Booker T and his commentating. So, um, I can tell
Now
you
there's
that.
fucking gifs with her doing that, and it's Booker going, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my fucking god! I was right on the money then, I guess, a year ago.
You were right on the money. So people pay attention to Medusa. That's all we're saying. CJ, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I can tell you don't care. LOL. This is the show, the only wrestling show podcast on the internet that you will find where there are truly zero fucks given. Zero.
Zero.
We do not care. We don't care what
Mm-mm.
people think. We're not going to be
I
intentionally
don't
mean or
sugarcoat
whatever.
anything.
But we're not here to tap dance and step on eggshells and that sort of thing. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, speaking of it is what it is, Tampa, Florida this week hosts Saturday night's main
Yeah, I
event.
thought it was canceled.
I had to tell her before the show, guys, that it
I
was
thought it was
definitely
canceled.
on.
I thought I saw on there. I swear to God, it was on the fucking social media that it was canceled or something was it NXT that was canceled on there, guys, or what? I don't know. I swear to God I saw something.
Yeah, well, anyway, Medusa is not aware of the fact that they had 10,000 people sold out for Tampa, so I had to tell her. But this card is very interesting to me that WWE at its absorbent prices, because let's face it, guys, the prices to get into a WWE show right now are stupid, ridiculous high. Like they're higher than Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson. So anyway, she's looking at her phone. She's not paying attention. The matches are 4 card match, and there's not a women's match that I saw announced on this card, Medusa, for Saturday
What?
night's main event. I don't believe there's a women's match on this card unless
On
it's getting
Saturday
announced
night?
Saturday or Friday. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
I think you already had me on one of their Saturday night main events, didn't they? At one of me,
yeah,
didn't I go?
you did. You showed up with the belt that when you do an auction for the Mad Mods starts at a
Yeah, I was
hundred
sitting in the
thousand.
front row. That's right.
Yep. Pink belt, black jacket. I believe
I was sitting
You
next to, oh, what's
you
his
saw the
name?
Brain Busters, totally
Oh,
enamored with it.
Henry, Mark Henry. I was
Mark
sitting next to
Henry.
Mark.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
Because he
yeah.
was talking about, if I remember right, he was talking about Rhea and Nia Jax. So if
Oh,
I
okay.
remember correctly. So up first, the graphics I do have Saturday night's main event on the Peacock. Thank you, Dick Ebersol, 5/24,
What about
2025.
Sevierville?
Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a steel cage, a solid steel cage. Um, the thing is it's the fence. It's not the big blue cage from the 80s. Drew McIntyre having a hell of a run, Madusa, in his character, had a great
Yeah,
feud with Punk. Has really kind of stepped into this role of has really stepped into this role of putting Damian, getting him away from the world title. Talk to
yeah.
us about Drew McIntyre and how much of a special run the man's having right into his 40s.
I think it's amazing. So, I mean, we can look at an age as a number, but I think we have to look at a person as fit and where they're at, their um cognitive, physical, um what they're able to endure overall, their endurance. And this man is still all of that. And reaching the 40s, I think is pretty phenomenal. I think a lot of people, because we're at this business so hard, so young, so long before your first break is like you're on idle, but you are just pounding pavement for so long. And then once you get to where the highlight, the pinnacle of your career is, wherever you think that would be, you're on full force. And it could be at any age of hitting that pinnacle. Some people don't hit it until they're 35. Some people have their best years at 40. Guys, I don't know how to break this to you, but I mean, I didn't hit the pinnacle of my second career until I was like 57, 55, 58, something, And what's a fucking number? If you're not hurt and you're all together, then why not? So besides that, he's still got the look. He's massive. And he can speak. He's good on social media, which I love, and plus a really, really good human being, straight up. So I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan, huge, and a Damian Priest fan. I hope he can find his footing. Damian Priest. I like what they did with him. There at the beginning because I really, fangirled out for Damian Priest, and then I think I told you, Red, that I saw some footing there, like he's losing his footing, meaning that it just something wasn't spicy. They before he fumbles, before he walks, they need to bring him back, get it regrouped, and then continue because his momentum. I mean, he would have been lost in the shuffle, and it's like pushing somebody that can't even crawl before they walk or walk before they crawl or whatever the fuck they say, you know? So there's that.
Yeah. So the thing is about WWE and the benefits of health that you didn't have 30 years ago, and we know that
Oh,
you're a very healthy person, but
yeah, but anything can happen to healthy people too. I just been lucky.
I'm talking
I
about
mean, I took care
resources.
of myself. I got
I'm
lucky.
talking about
But
resources though.
yes,
Um, AJ Styles over 45, killing it.
yeah,
Shinsuke Nakamura, Cody is going to be 40 this year. Obviously Drew McIntyre. I mean, AJ Styles won the IWGP World Title in Japan at 38,
wow,
37 or 38 years old. Finn Balor over 40, still
yeah,
on television. I
yeah,
mean, my point is to your point, it's just a number,
Yes.
And I'm not as familiar with the
I don't
women's
think we
end.
look at that anymore where we did in the past, because if people start, I mean, even in the Divas era, once the women started getting to a certain age, they started aging them out and get the fuck out of there, and they started getting all the young ones, you know?
Yeah. And
Oof.
I think that that's, the thing is that they're just anymore 30 is where you're really just starting to find the groove in wrestling, because they're not going to use you, with all of the upper card talent that they have. And you and I've talked on this show, how do you introduce young people into wrestling to replace the ones? Shit, Randy Orton's 46 and still look at Randy Orton, or 45, whatever. Look at how he looks
Yeah, but look
in
at Cena.
2025.
How old is he?
Cena's 47.
Yes.
I mean, Rock is 52 or 3, you know.
Yeah, he's a little up there. Yeah.
Roman is 40. So I mean that's my point, is these
Okay, so
guys.
you have your guys that are in your prime are hitting 40 and over now. That is fucking amazing, because there are lucky people, and they're very, very few and far. And DDP was one of them. Back in the day, an older man was able to make it, and it was never hurt. I mean, it never happened, but it did happen. And maybe it did set a precedence, and it was a good way to, look at it. But he was just one of those people that had a total package. That, I mean, he wasn't a great wrestler by any mean, but he could carry it and market it and talk the walk, blah 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 blah. So he was just one of those specialties. So,
Yeah,
but now you have the whole talent that can do everything like that, even starting at 40, but been in the business now for a while. And now they're able to carry it even further. We're going to start seeing people even peak out at 50 to, as well. I like women now, they're all reaching, 38. Some of them are 40. I think Natalia, how old is Natalia, guys?
Natalia's probably close to 40. I know Charlotte is my age. She's 39.
Yeah.
Um, Becky's got to be
She's
35-ish, 36, somewhere in there. Um,
I
Hold
mean,
on.
we have a whole group getting up there too of women.
Yeah. And I don't, I just am not as familiar with them. Natty is 42, Medusa.
She's 42?
Natty Neidhart is 42.
That is fucking
Still
awesome.
looks like $1 billion. She's a 42.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
but when
Good
you
for
think
her.
about it, she was at WrestleMania in the early 2000s or the mid 2000s, and it's
Yeah.
2025. So the math checks out. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Um, but yeah,
God, I
she is.
love that though. There she is going strong and still setting a precedence for women. And again, you had your May Youngs and Mullahs in there, and there's what, 70s? So
Well, we don't like Moolah, but Mae Young taking the power bomb from the Dudley Boys
yeah,
will
but if it
always.
wasn't for Moolah, there wouldn't be a lot of this, guys. Whatever. It is what it is, you know?
I don't like Moolah. I don't have any respect for someone who did what she did to the women that she trained. I also understand, to Medusa's point, inside the evil system of professional wrestling, without the fabulous Moolah, women's wrestling would not exist.
No, exactly. Yeah, even the
Kind of
shit
like
that she did, it wouldn't exist really.
kind of like
Exactly.
without Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon, two people that people don't like to talk about inside of wrestling, there would be no WWE in its current state.
Who's that with Hogan?
Yeah, without Vince and Hogan, you would not see the WWE in its current state, because
Yeah, it was
Austin
one
took
of
it to another level, and then they did even more with Cena. But my point is, it was McMahon and Hogan that ran so hard for, from
Oh,
'84 to '91.
absolutely. It
So
was an era. It's an era.
yeah, and they paid it off. So anyway, we got tangential, we being me, but let's get
Oh,
tangential about my man. Are you going to apologize publicly to Logan Paul? That's Logan over there on the right.
no.
Yeet yeet. Jay Uso on the left. I
No.
swear to God, Medusa, this match is happening, and it's a world championship match, sponsored like this show by Prime Hydrate Drinks.
Oh,
Um,
speaking of sponsorship, it's really nice. First of all, let's back up a little bit. So, um, before sponsorships, I just want to say thank you again for WWE because of my action figure. Did you bring up that picture?
I can bring it up. You're all over the
Yes.
place tonight. We're skipping the
And
format.
when aren't we?
Boom.
Okay, there. Guys, it's coming. It's going to be out. I love it. So, the only thing is that I got an email saying, "Oh, it's going to be on hold because of the tariffs." Well, I got some explaining to do on the tariffs, and I'm going to let Red go ahead and fucking blow some steam.
Well, the problem with this excuse for the tariffs is that allegedly the Trump administration and China have come to detente on the issue of tariffs. I think they settled on 31%. So my understanding was the tariff argument is over. Now that could be wrong as far as Medusa action figures are concerned, just because they don't want people to have them. It only took 25 years to get the first one, but what do I know? So WWE, get your shit together. You are friends of the president. You should know better than to lie to your people.
I'm friends with the president?
No, the WWE is friends with the president.
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute. The only thing I share.
Fingers in the fucking cabinet. Triple H, Vince, Stephanie, they've all had their picture taken in the Oval Office.
Okay. And they support their mama. They go to her hearings, and when she gets sworn in, it's pretty
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, it's cute. Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education, whatever the fuck that means in this country. You
It's
know,
not gonna mean anything once they're done doing what they need to do and bringing all the education back to the states only, and then she'll have another job.
yeah, they're going to dismantle it. According to Winter, I'm sure it says for
No,
3
they're
months.
gonna finally let what it needs to do and go to each state. Federal
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
be involved in that shit anyway.
But
There,
Winter was
that's my
telling me
opinion.
about tariffs. She said for 3 months. Well, if they've got detente for 3 months, they've got detente for 3 years. Because here's the thing, it's going to be like a continuing resolution where this country decides not to go bankrupt and not to pay shit. So we're going to go ahead and continue to go into debt. They're going to continue the agreement on the tariffs. It's not like they're going to just raise them after
Why should
90
this
days.
country keep going in debt? I like the fact that we need to start bulking back, and we need to start fucking saying no to people, and we need to start toughening up on our laws, and we need just to stop it. Stop being a pussy. This
Yeah,
country needs to stop.
I get all fired up. But anyway, so Medusa's action figures, Alundra
Yes.
Blaze, will be
Yes.
out eventually. Don't worry, the president's going to
Hopefully
be,
before Christmas.
believe it, believe it. Before Christmas, we'll have them in your stockings. They're beautiful stockings, the big ones, you pull up above your knees. I used to see some ladies in lace stockings, believe it. Anyway,
Oh,
that's our
okay.
president. Now, back to our scheduled programming. Saturday night's main event features a main event wrestling match for the title. And that title is Jey Uso versus Logan Paul.
Your favorite. Your ass
Medusa,
kissing. Your kisses his ass.
I love him. There is a narrative that I want to correct, though, but I'm going to have you do it because you're the Hall of Famer and I'm not. There
Oh,
are people that don't believe Logan Paul has any business in professional wrestling.
well, why not?
Why is Logan Paul the person that they chose to wrestle Cody and to wrestle
I'm
Rick
gonna sum it up
and to
easy.
wrestle Jay?
Just like they choose champions. You are chosen to be in that federation because they see something in you. And once you are invited in there, either you're invited or you're not. Or you keep on getting invited back because they keep seeing something and keep giving you chances. Chelsea Green, for example. And then finally, hopefully, they have so much invested in you, they're going to hope one time it sticks. They saw that in Logan Paul. He's a showman, and it's about entertainment so strongly. And so the problem here is that he can do it, and he's gifted, and it pisses people off. I get it. It's just like being a nepo baby. I mean, you can't be mad at them just because they're born into it. The difference is if you're a nepo baby and you have not a fucking inch of talent and you're still being pushed to the gill, that's what's pathetic. But you do have people in second, third generations that actually do have talent in this business. And it's maybe it was because of their parent or their sibling or whatever that got them an extra push to be there. Okay, it happens. But it happens in every business. Is it fair sometimes? No. But okay. Sometimes they have to prove themselves, not just once or twice or 3 times. They have to prove themselves 10 million times every fucking time they walk out there to remind you guys they are there because they want to be there and they have every right to be there and they got to keep proving themselves. Kind of like a woman in this fucking man's business. And then being a woman in this business, you have to do it even twofold. So there's that. So with Logan Paul, he has every right to be in there, and I think he does an excellent job. Even though I'm not
Don't talk about his prime. Hydrate, man.
his
Um,
fucking prime, I don't agree.
so he's got his own TV show now with his family. And to Bad Boys, welcome to the show, sir. We appreciate you for watching, listening, participating. To Bad Boys comment here, Logan have a hell of a following too. We've talked about this. 23 million subscribers on YouTube. Well, when he had the Trump interview. So it's probably more than that at this point.
Mm,
Brings eyes to the product, I would agree with. And here's where the endorsement really is for me as a wrestling fan.
mm,
Like him, love him, hate him, whatever. Shawn Michaels is the personal trainer of Logan Paul.
mm.
HBK's got baggage. There are people with opinions of him, and that's fine. But arguably one of the best in-ring workers in the history of this sport.
I don't know.
And
Here's another one that's a natural. Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is another Logan Paul. Logan Paul's another Shane McMahon. They just fucking
Tom
walk right
Pritchard
into the
trained him.
business that hasn't been down there 24/7 at the PC, neither one of them, but they fucking are gifted. Period.
Tom Pritchard trained Shane, not Shawn Michaels. Don't step on my point here. The point
Yes.
is that arguably one of the greatest in-ring workers of all time and best friend to the guy who runs the whole fucking show sees something in Logan Paul. That was my point. But anyway,
Oh,
we didn't really predict the match. Jey Uso or Damian versus Drew in a
true.
cage.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
Well, again, I don't know if Damien's ready yet. I just I don't know. I haven't seen him lately, so maybe y'all can tell me. But I think he's quality. I do. Does Drew have the does either one of them have a title? Does Drew have a title?
No, man.
None,
It's a
neither
grudge
one.
match. It's a grudge match like the old days.
And I think that if this is a grudge match, what is this grudge really about between them two?
Basically just a feud stemming from Royal Rumble where Drew got eliminated by Damian Priest, and then
And so
Drew
it's just
bested
that.
him
So they're
at
starting
WrestleMania.
an angle between these two.
Yeah, I mean it's been going on for 5 months, but yes, to your or not. It wasn't Royal
No.
Rumble. I apologize. It was Elimination Chamber. So 4 months. It's been going on since February.
Yeah, but it's just in little tiny tits for tats between them.
Yeah, pretty much.
So all of a sudden they're in a cage match. Ah, there's so much match. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like,
Well, in the
okay.
tag match last week or the week before, Damian hit his finisher on Drew. Drew missed the table. Drew hit his head on the cement floor. So not a good look, but that did happen. And he does seem to
Was it
be
legit
uh,
that he hit his head on the cement floor?
yes, that's legit. And Bad Boys does have a point. It happened since WrestleMania 40 when Damian cashed in on him. Well, that's true, but then they went to
Yeah,
Punk. So
yeah.
remember, they went to Punk and they circled back. So we're
Mm,
not trying to be dismissive of what happened a year ago, Bad Boys, but the issue was Punk. He was the conduit, but he was injured.
yeah.
Otherwise, the match would have been or Drew McIntyre versus Punk at WrestleMania, not Damian Priest versus Punk at WrestleMania. So that would be the one thing there at 40. But bottom line, I think that Drew wins this. It's more up his alley. It's a cage match. I think he's got more cachet, and the company sees more in him right now. Priest
Yes.
was a
But I
great.
hope they don't squish Damien.
I agree with that. Priest was great with the briefcase, but when he had the title, it just was less than. Jay
No,
Uso,
that's where I said, remember I said I felt something was just missing, his stepping, something it was then when he was that, it was just flat. It was
Yeah.
flat. They needed to get that title off him and restart.
And Jey Uso, same way. He's going to wrestle Logan Paul. I think they're going to have a fairly good match. Here's the deal, though, Medusa, because I know you're not able to watch every minute of Raw.
Logan Paul is going to win the title.
You think Logan Paul is going to win the title? Because here's what the winner of this match gets. At Money in the Bank, the next pay-per-view, they get the ring general Gunther. Gunther has his rematch for the world title. So now, knowing that, because like I said, I know you don't watch every Raw, or not every minute of every Raw, knowing that Gunther has the world title shot against whoever wins between Logan Paul and Jay, if you're WWE, do you run a fourth or fifth installment of the Jey Uso Gunther match? Or,
I'm over it.
okay, so
I'm
how do
over
you
it.
book it?
I
You
want
book it.
something new.
Well, book it.
Mm.
You were a booker. You were a booker in NWA. Come on, book it. How do you get out of this? Because obviously, the Jey Uso title run is all about the entrance, and then the bell rings. In the words of Bruce Pritchard.
So why can't he get jumped beforehand? Has he ever got jumped beforehand?
Jay, yeah, they beat him. Seth Rollins' group, your boy Braun Breaker put the beat down on him last week.
Okay. All right. Maybe it becomes a thing and he's weakened and he's unsure that every different person is starting to do this to him. Maybe it makes him vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and he starts being confused and instead of squishing him and everything that they had him, take the title off of him and see what happens, you
This
know?
is my answer. Logan Paul is the better professional wrestler than Jey Uso.
Yes,
And
definitely.
Logan Paul has had 20 matches and is going to have to carry this with his heel tactics, the
Mhm.
facials, the actions, the cheating, the whatever he's going to do.
That's what I
Because
mean.
Jay can't carry it. My solution to this would be a double disqualification,
Mm.
triple threat, and I know it's not great, but a triple threat to Money in the Bank. Put the title on Logan Paul by having him steal the win from Gunther and Jey Uso.
And a triple.
Because it still gets Gunther involved, it gets Jay involved, and it ends the Gunther and Jay story at least temporarily. Logan Paul with that world title
Yeah.
would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would. You know what? He could just taunt people. And then he has his show. That's why I think he's getting the title as well. You know what I mean? So I just think there should be a lot of mind fucking to Uso. And I think maybe this is where Naomi and him can team together, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could work.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, she
it
comes
could
to
be.
his rescue and she comes out and threatens Logan Paul. Fuck, we
Yeah, but
haven't seen
he's a
something
baby
like
face.
that.
He's a baby face and she's a heel, and that's not his husband. That's not her husband.
So
Jimmy is.
what? He does something so devastating that you know what I mean? Hey, you talk about this person. Yeah, I'm part of the blood. I'm in the family. Then let me fucking ask, let me just step in for my family type of thing. You fuck with my husband. I'm done with all of this shit. Caution to the wind, motherfuckers. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, her stupid line was proceed with caution, which was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Caution to the wind.
Because I'm
That's
a
what I
hater. But anyway, up next, what I'm not a hater of, even though it involves the most hated man in professional wrestling,
God.
your friend,
Yes.
Phil Brooks, CM
What's
Punk.
wrong with him?
You know
Look at
what's
they all
wrong.
look the same. Sammy, Punk, and they all look the fucking
Rollins.
same.
So it's a tag team match with your
Oh,
man. Excuse me, ma'am, if I may, ma'am,
if I
and
may, ma'am.
his new dangerous alliance, whatever.
Yeah. Mm,
Um, Braun
no.
Breaker, Seth Rollins taking on CM Punk, Sami Zayn. I have a way that I think this is going to happen, but
Before we even start, if we could eliminate Bonbon, who would you put in his place?
Rusev.
Exactly. Rusev needs to be in there, not fucking Peppermint Bonbon.
Yeah, but if you're looking to elevate Breaker, and that's what they're
I'm
looking to
not.
do, well, and I'm the dick. Madusa has spoken.
I'm not.
but Breaker, if you're looking to elevate Breaker,
No.
putting him with Paul Heyman is quite frankly a really good plan. So it's the tag match. They've gone at it to end Raw, to begin Raw every
Fucking
week.
Kool-Aid. You fucking what kind of flavor Kool-Aid did you drink today?
I'm talking about Paul Heyman.
I don't give a yeah, what kind of Kool-Aid did you
I am
drink? Fucking
100% consistent on Paul Heyman.
so am
Who
I.
who
I love Paul. Paul, I'm
who
a
he
Paul
man-
Heyman girl.
who he manages is irrelevant to me, ma'am, because he is going to elevate
You're up
regardless.
Paul's ass, and just because Paul chose Peppermint Bonbon, you're gonna go with it.
So Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn, CM Punk. And Punk has been the hero of this whole thing since the turn at WrestleMania. We talked about it. Roman is out. Roman's doing the Roman schedule. He is an attraction. He is not a week to week professional wrestler. People don't have to like it, but that's a fact about the tribal chief.
You'll probably see him on the next cover of the books like they saw Fabio.
Yeah.
He's the next Fabio.
Yeah. His magazine covers was a decision. What was that? People or whatever?
What the
I don't
fuck
know
was that?
yeah, I don't know what magazine that was, but I saw that was a decision. Some of those
I
photos.
think Jose fucking what's my mod's name? Porn Jose. Him and him are in the same magazine.
Yeah, Mortis. Now listen, Fernando. We love you, but we do not. You hear me? We do not
You can't
disparage
even spell his name correctly.
Paul Heyman around here. We do not disparage Paul Heyman, Fernando. He's number one with a bullet. You know,
Yeah.
God bless the brain, but the brain never actually got the world title in his group, and he certainly never managed rock stars like Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. Granted, Andre was Andre, and the Brainbusters were the Brainbusters. Rude was rude, and perfect was perfect. But that's upper mid card, and the boss was an
And
attraction.
Deuce was douche. I mean, it was what it was.
We're talking about Heenan never managed you. Heyman managed you.
Heenan was on the commentary a lot with my shit. Don't get me started.
Yeah. Bobby Heenan. Yes. Anyway, I'm having
Like when
fun,
I took the
Fernando.
bottle of perfume and poured it all over his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, that nitro perfume that smelled like gasoline or whatever you said. Yeah,
Ass, you mean.
yeah.
Asaline.
Gasoline. So, what do you think? CM Punk, Sami Zayn versus your Paul Heyman guys.
Peppermint Bonbon.
You think he's taking the pin?
Who?
Who's
Peppermint
taking the
Bonbon?
pin? How's this go? Yeah, what's your prediction? Tell us what you think about Phil, Pepsi Phil.
Pepsi Phil.
Yeah,
Is that what
that's
you
what I call
said?
it. Oh yeah, that's Pepsi Phil. He's got a Pepsi tattoo and everything.
Oh my God.
I don't know how you don't know these things. You went to the bar
As
mitzvah and
I've
all.
never had a Coke or Pepsi or root beer or Dr. Pepper in my fucking life.
You hear
Never.
that, guys?
Never.
Deuce is a Coke hater. So
Anyway,
don't like draft.
so Coke came out with their new formula, cane sugar, and it's being distributed and made, and it's made in Mexico. You can buy a 4-pack for like $8 and something cents. Fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah, they got rid of all the artificial shit.
Oh, that was inside. They called the strike. Sorry, there was a game on their game on. So this is what I think is
Go
going to happen.
Twins. Go
Sammy,
Twins.
dude, they
Go
they were on
Twins.
like a 10-win streak. I don't know if they're still winning, but they won like 10 in a row. So
Well, if they're
uh,
anything like the Vikings, they win 7 to 10 in a row, and then they start buckling up, grabbing the balls and fucking eating it, and then just taking all the bribes as much as possible, and then become WWE.
I love
There.
just how blunt you are about all of that. So
Because it's true.
I think Sami Zayn turns on
Sami Zayn is gonna
CM
sit in a
Punk.
corner and cry like a baby. Peppermint Bonbon is just gonna be fucking tripping over his goddamn shoelaces. Seth Rollins is gonna come out with a mirror and have Becky hang on to it so he can look at himself. And Paul's just gonna be Paul. Is Paul gonna be out there, Heyman?
Of course he is.
Of course he is. He's gonna come out there with Punk.
No, he's going to go
Oh,
out there with Rollins. Remember, he's with Rollins now.
oh, okay, whatever.
So I think
I think
Sami
I
Zayn,
think Punk is going to try to manipulate everything. But
Punk is a much better heel than he is babyface.
yes,
But
yes, very
but
much so.
he's been doing very good this run.
Yeah, he is.
I think it's interesting that CM Punk, who nearly burned every bridge with WWE, was able to come back while Vince was there. Now he's
What
there
did
with
I say?
Triple H.
They give you a chance. They see something. Can keep coming.
Well,
Why? Why Logan Paul? Why this? Because if a company chooses you and they choose you to be a champion, is because they know you can deliver. Period. Anyway, go ahead.
so the interesting thing is Punk has become such a big component to the wrestling in WWE. They could have Medusa, and I want your thoughts on this. They could have pulled him back and not let him be part of the bigger creative pieces in the company.
Ooh, Punk.
Yeah, no, hear
That
me
was
out.
all no, of
They could
course.
have
It was
tested
either
him.
that, build up to it, or else he probably may not have, you know?
No, I'm
And I
saying
think with Paul's talking, just, "Hey, lay low, work your position, you're working to this, prove to them," and it's exactly what he knew his assignment, period.
that was kind of my point is that they didn't put him in the main event right away. They built to it, and now he's always been in the quote upper mid card, okay, the semi main
Yeah,
event, whatever you
yeah.
want to call it. But now he is becoming more and more featured. It's very clear they're trying to put some momentum behind him for maybe one more run at the top because he is old. He is injury prone. He's old from the standpoint his body is old. His age is not
How old
old.
is he?
45, I believe,
So, all right,
46.
there's another one, yeah, so
No,
he's up
the
there too.
problem is he's far more injury prone than every other wrestler we mentioned. Far
I
more
don't know,
injury.
what about the one they just let go? She was always fucking hurt. Dakota Kai? God
Oh,
damn.
yeah, but we didn't mention her. We were talking about the men.
I know, but I was
Anywho,
just saying injury prone.
my God, she's killing me. Um, Sami Zayn is going to turn on
That's
CM
what I
Punk.
mean. He's gonna cry like a baby after he does it, and he's gonna regret it, and then he's gonna be like,
I don't know about all that. I am going to cheer Sami Zayn so much when he hits the haluva kick on CM Punk right into the curb stomp from Seth Rollins, and we get to sing the song all the way out.
Mhm.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think they need to build the heat for Heyman's group. I don't think you can beat Heyman's group yet. So, and nobody's
No.
going to, I mean, losing doesn't hurt them, but they're just established
It's
out of
gonna be
WrestleMania.
Peppermint Bonbon that causes the problem.
Yeah. Peppermint Bonbon. I don't know where you get that from Braun Breaker, but let's talk about something far more serious. R-Truth, John Cena, I swear to God, for the world title.
Okay,
Um,
R-Truth, I just saw him on X rapping his new song. It was good. He's a
R-Truth.
singer.
Oh no, Ron Killings is incredibly gifted.
Yes, I love
Former
him.
former NWA World Champion when it was part of the TNA brand, was one of the early champions. Has managed to have a really long wrestling career, being largely these last 10 years a comedy act, but still athletic, very physically fit, can talk on the mic, comedic timing like nobody I've ever seen in professional wrestling, Medusa. Um, Truth can basically break anybody on camera.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This
He's
is gonna be interesting because I really hope that Cena just bends a little bit and, don't jump out of the character that he's trying to build so, deeply on, but I hope he becomes with all of Killing's antics, I hope he finds a way not to break character and fuck with him, so he pushes Ron to a limit where he actually starts getting super serious and almost starts out wrestling Cena. You know what I'm saying? Where it's this build, you just see all these antics out of him, and you're gonna think, "Oh, that's just this is just it. It's gonna," but then all of a sudden, you see this part of Ron where we haven't seen, which would be fantastic. Just pull something out of his ass so fucking serious. That could make a huge comeback for him.
I honestly like that a lot because he's been nothing but a comedy character. When he goes to the
Exactly.
road,
That's what we
people,
expect. And
yeah,
I would like nothing more for him to do that and be that when he comes out. And there's a point where Cena needs to crack, where where Killens needs to crack. And then it's like an about face, like, who is this guy? Like all of a sudden you see a Ron Simmons. You know what I mean?
yeah, because he should. I mean, the thing is like this is the guy that pulled the ladder out at the Royal Rumble, thinking it's a ladder match and it's an over the top. I mean, he's done so much that is so memorable and so
Yeah.
funny
But I want to
because you
see
got
it now where he almost beats Cena, but like everyone's like, no fucking way. And
well,
they'll
and the
be
other
like,
thing, the other master that serves is that there are people that think this is just a shit match. If you get a real match out of him, you get the surprise, is what I'm saying. You get
mhm.
something different than what you were expecting.
Well,
So,
it's almost kind of like he's the little boy that's going down the street in the rain. He stops by the gutter and he sees the clown with the balloon and he's happy and he wants to take it. And that's Cena, the fucking clown.
you just
But
compared John Cena to it. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Stephen Stephen King would be proud of you. I believe the clown's name was Pennywise. Somebody correct me if that's not right, but I think it's
everybody
Pennywise.
bring red balloons to that fucking match.
Yeah.
That'd be
Fernando
great.
says Truth's going to surprise everyone. Yo Miller, he's going against his childhood hero. Saturday night main event.
Yeah.
It's not a pay-per-view, it's not a PLE, but they're put 10,000 people at the Yingling Center.
Pennywise, Cena.
Pennywise. That's what I thought his name was, Pennywise the clown. Anyway, they're putting
That's so
10,000
good.
people in this arena. This is probably the right place for this type of match.
Yeah, I think it would be get so much. This is what they're trying to do, is save some of that stuff and for social media. So this would be all the great, all the social media clips and, whatever to be shown of what happened. So that would be fun. But
Well,
that's
and one thing you can say about WWE and AEW does it as well. And for those that are AEW fans, we're about to talk about AEW. Um, One thing that they do well is they do play that social media. Like
oh god, yeah.
they're realized it's such an asset that people are on Twitter and they're on Instagram and they're on Facebook and they're on whatever. X, not Twitter, but you all know what I mean. So I think that's really good on their part. But anyway, overall, 4 matches announced. What do you think of the card? Like, just final thoughts,
I
wrap it
think
up.
it's fire. I do. I think it's fire so far. There's not a women's match, but again, I would love them to start building a fucking character that is so vastly different from every woman they have, and start building a few characters like that so we can start getting. I just want to start seeing that. I just want to see something Luna ish, Bolnicano ish, Bertha Faye ish, but someone that can pull it off, someone that's deep into their character. I think that um what's her name is really good. The little blonde. That character is really good, but she's so well liked. What's her name?
Alexa
Little
Bliss. Alexa
Alexa
Bliss.
Bliss. Yeah.
Yep.
That character is really, really good, but we don't see enough of it. Always something fucking happens and they take her out or she's out or something, and I hate it. I don't know. We just need a I just need a character, god damn it. What character can you say that there is in the women? Where who is a character besides Alexa Bliss?
In the women's wrestling,
Yeah.
I think it's Winter saying it. Obviously Nikki Cross, but she's part of the Wyatt Six that we haven't seen on television for some time.
Yeah, why isn't
Um,
she doing anything? Maybe it's her choice. I don't know. But I mean, Nikki Cross, there's a little something there. Um,
your favorite Tiffy Time. She's a Barbie doll.
she's not a fucking character though. She's
But
just
she's a live action Barbie doll. Is all I'm saying, Deuce. Like she's a live action Barbie doll. A new page, the anti diva when the divas were popular. Interesting point from Yo Miller one of your Twitch people. Sounds like you want a new page, the anti diva when the divas were popular.
well, I mean, she just was different looking. I don't she did have her own base, absolutely. And so was Punk's wife.
Yeah. AJ
So
Lee.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, they were slightly the same, but yeah, them of one is kind of a good character too. I'm just so sick of them all looking the same. Fuck.
Well, Deuce, I mean, I don't know what
They're
to tell
just
you.
all good looking.
Well, there's not one of them though that looks like Rhea Ripley, and we hadn't mentioned her tonight. But
Oh, then there's Rhea, but Rhea, she's everything. And she's so well liked. I mean, and she's different looking. And so, I mean, to me, that's just a different looking, good looking baby face right now, you know?
yeah, they're not. Rhea Ripley's one of the faces of the company. Make no mistake about it. It's not just the women's division. She is
Yeah.
somebody that they are investing major
Invested.
time,
Yep.
effort, energy.
Her and
Um,
Tiffy and I don't know.
I do like the idea of Tiffy being a character, mostly because she came out of the Barbie house at WrestleMania. That makes me laugh. Um, and so we've got some comments here. Our friend Maria says there's no reason, no good reason, excuse me, we can't get a women's match on Saturday night's main event. Maria, I would agree with that. These are the only 4 matches I saw that were announced, however. So they may do something on SmackDown. I don't
Yeah.
know, but these are the 4 that are advertised. So, and it is Saturday night's main event. Not making excuses for WWE. What I'm saying is they've got a limited time because they're going to do all the Gaga around Saturday night's main event too, with the Ventura and Tessator and all the rest like they have the last few times. Stephanie Valkyrie is going to be a game changer.
They
We
need to
agree.
bring Tessa up there. Period.
Well, Tessa is in a different organization altogether.
No,
Now
I'm
they're
just saying they need
partners.
to bring Tessa over there.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tessa's a game changer in that she is a real professional wrestler and doesn't care about being a heel. So,
That's what I mean. That's so refreshing. Ugh.
yeah. But so there are people in here that like AEW. Well, you're all going to be disappointed. I'm kidding. Double or Nothing this weekend. The Desert Diamond Arena. This is the poster. Sunday, May 25th. It's a Sunday night pay-per-view, folks. Call your bosses. Tell them you're going to be late to work. AEW likes to do 7-hour pay-per-views. Like they don't do one every month like everybody else these days. But in all seriousness, Madusa, Double or Nothing, tentpole event. I was at Double or Nothing in 2019, the very first Double or Nothing. The 3 main matches: Cody Dustin, Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros, Kenny Omega, your version of Robert Plant, versus
Yes.
Chris Jericho.
Yes.
John Moxley makes his
Yeah,
surprise.
that's going to be a good match though between with
Oh,
Chris.
no. This was the first one, honey. This was the first one. This
No, I
was
meant even that was good, but it would be
6
good to
years ago.
see again. Yes.
Yeah, 6 years ago. So my point to say that was it happened at the MGM Grand in Vegas. There's 14,500 people there. It was AEW's very first pay-per-view as an organization. because All In didn't count because AEW wasn't in existence at the time. Now we are in an arena in Arizona where we're going to have 6,500 people in the building, where we have a television deal. We have 6 years of experience. And quite frankly, we have better professional wrestlers on the roster than we did in 19. My question to you is why the slide when they clearly have the talent?
I how do you answer that? When you have the talent, I mean, that that happens in a lot of places. You ask yourself, you've got the talent, why not? You start thinking that there's more to it, right? Deeper. Like it makes you start questioning. I want to say something, but I can't.
I love when you do that. So the
I'll tell you off, but
it's fine. Yeah, what I'm really driving at here is to me, this company has far more resources today,
yeah.
talent, television, programming, established history, knowing that this is a tentpole event. This is one of their big pay-per-views. Why are they struggling so bad when they have at the top of the roster Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher,
Because
Hangman Adam Page?
you know, because
So
it's still a mess. If it was, I don't know. So I'm not there, but only speaking to some people that work there, it's still kind of cluster. And I understand his wanting to be involved. And because you're the owner of the fucking company. I mean, Vince was hands on. Nothing got by Vince, and it was a success for decades. And there's nothing wrong with him wanting to have hands on as well. But you hire people to delegate, to do the job, not micromanage, then to come together, have your meetings, make sure it's what everybody is planning. You got to trust the process, trust the people to do their job, and your whole business is going to become a success. You can have fucking Cody come back for one match over to AEW, and it would draw maybe because of Cody's name, but if you kept Cody there, it wouldn't. Just because it's not utilized correctly. I truly believe Tony means well and he wants it to succeed, and I want it to succeed. I do, and I want so much success for him. But he's got to hire and trust and put process together and let people will do their job and let him just evaluate what's working, what's not, and give him have his person. And then that person goes to those people, and those people go to those people, and those people go to those people, and it gets done. And that way he can just sit there and analyze and watch. Let people be, he can imagine and let them be the Imagineers. But there's got to be other people with ideas and creators to take charge too. You've got to trust people with what you have. You have a gold mine sitting there, and it's just on a treadmill going nowhere. I hate it.
while you were talking, Aaron Judge hit home run number 15,
Oh, Jesus.
still
Go
holding the
Twins.
batting average over 400.
Oh, God.
But I agree with you. I think that the issue could be in the management of the company. The reason I say that, we joke, I'm $1.5 million a year producer for my organization. My boss cannot do what I do. but he knows
Exactly.
that, and he employs me
And
to
he lets
do it.
you do your job. Yes,
Correct.
let him be the
Correct.
money man and
Correct.
enjoy it. He can have ideas, but he can't do what other people can do, and that's storytelling. And it just goddamn.
Yeah. So there's this gentleman or woman, don't want to assume, Thundercat. I like this. Poor booking, no stories or stories that don't make sense, pushing the wrong guys, and just having matches to have matches. Thundercat, thank you for your contribution to the conversation and
Mm.
welcome to Trash Talk. I would agree with everything that this person has said because there are matches just to have
Maybe
matches.
it's
And I
not really pushing the wrong guys, it's pushing the same guys. It just
They
you've
got no
got
clear heels or baby faces either. I think this is
yes,
a fair statement.
yes, very much so there. Yes.
Yeah. And, Fernando says, because he's an AEW person, he admitted that. And we're not picking on you, Fernando. They have talent. They need to learn how to tell stories.
They
That's
need
a fair
writers,
statement.
let him writers do the writing. Now, I know there was a WWF female writer that was working over there, and she's gone
Oh,
now. So
she was working with Mercedes. And look how great that turned out. Ugh, puke.
oh, shut up.
Mercedes is not as bad as Britt Baker, but she's close. So, at least in my
Fuck.
wrestling fandom.
No, she's better than Britt Baker,
I
damn
said
it.
in my wrestling fandom, ma'am. It doesn't mean that she's not a
Your
better wrestler.
wrestling fandom. Yeah.
Fandom, believe it.
God, I'm
Um,
gonna fuck you. You're just gonna whack you. Can you
so
feel this? Can you feel
speaking
that,
of
ass?
speaking of things that don't make sense,
Can you
let's
feel this?
start with FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. This is a collision built match. Collision, the show nobody watches except on Max. They get 300,000 viewers on cable. They get 1 million viewers on Max if you read the internet. Um, FTR, arguably at one point, best tag team in the world. Nigel McGuinness, 15 years ago, one of the best in ring technicians in the world. Daniel Garcia, no charisma, no talent in terms of the television, but he's here. So why are we putting Nigel in his second match in 15 years because of the hepatitis with Daniel Garcia to take on Dax and Cash, who are your top tier tag team in AEW?
Because they're slowly breaking them in. I don't know.
Who they slowly breaking in? I had
The
to
whole
think about
idea
that
of
for
the
a
whole
second.
idea of the tag team.
I'm like, what? Wait a minute. What are we doing? Already Deuce is doing violence on stream. What have we done? C Note's here. And by the way, C Note, I saw your comment earlier. Hello to you too, sir. But C Note's here. He says you're doing violence on the stream. What have we done violent? Have we done violence already?
No, I was hitting you. I said, "Can you feel this?"
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I was hardly paying attention. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So anyway, back to this fucked up tag team situation.
So, my question is that FTR had a very valid argument of being the best wrestling tag team in the world for several years.
When?
From probably 2014
Okay, stop there. That okay. Now this is 2025. Okay.
to 2023 or 24,
Okay.
a decade of dominance in the tag team division. Nigel McGuinness has wrestled one match and a battle royal since 2011.
That's what
And
I
then there's
mean.
Daniel
Why?
Garcia,
You asked
who's
me why. Because they're
yeah.
slowly bringing him back. That's why he's in a tag team.
Okay. Well, that match will be a main event anywhere in the world except on Double or Nothing. I don't know if it makes the show. Uh, um, but here's some guys you know:
I'm not
the
interested.
Hurt Syndicate, MVP Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, newly christened a Hurt Syndicate member. Also, apparently, as long as his lawyer signs off on it, one Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. They'll be taking on the Sons of Texas, Sammy Guevara, Dustin Rhodes,
Okay,
So
the
Deuce,
only thing interesting on this whole Double or Nothing card is Ricochet, Tony Storm, Mercedes, and Will Ospreay. I'm done. Everything else, I have no interest.
you don't have any interest in watching 50 whatever year old Dustin Rhodes still do his thing at a high level.
Wait a minute. Where is he at?
The Sons of
Oh,
Texas. I just,
oh,
I
that's
just,
right.
I just did it. You were reading right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so all right, so because he's in it, maybe just a little.
Him and Shelton Benjamin. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Um, no, Shelton can
Sorry,
still go.
Dustin. I skimmed by your name there.
Yeah, Shelton can still go. I think this match, though, we're talking about the tag team division. That's why I put these two back to back.
There's another one that's 50 years old.
Yeah, well, Bobby Lashley is 49, Shelton is 49, Dustin is 50, whatever, and Sammy
Yeah.
Guevara just turned 30. And MVP, I think, is 50-ish too.
Yeah,
So,
like there you go, guys.
yeah. I mean, they're
Fucking
not young.
awesome.
They're not young. But good for them. So this match is for the tag team titles. Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes, interestingly, are Ring of Honor tag team champs. It's the AEW tag team champions that they're wrestling for.
Oh, well, it'd be great to get them as well.
Well, I mean, they could do the double championship.
Yeah.
My question is, when you've got the Hurt Syndicate presented the way they are, and some of our AEW fans can weigh in on this, what is the purpose of this match if it's just going to be a foregone conclusion that they win?
That's what I mean. It's probably why I skipped over it. I don't know. Is there any what's the purpose of this match? Hello? I can't hear you.
To have a tag team championship match.
Is that it?
Yeah. I mean, they need a tag team championship match. They've got the Hurt Syndicate on the card, which is great.
And the Hurt Syndicate consists of
That's Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin.
okay, all right, it is. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm sure they'll have a good
I think it'll be a decent match. I mean, they've got some, and
yeah.
of the four in there, and this is no offense to anybody, that Sammy's going to be the one bumping around like a pinball.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Dustin ain't going to take them bumps from Bobby and Shelton.
And Lashley, he might just trip over his feet.
Yeah. Yo Miller tells us Dustin is 56, Deuce. So he's still doing his thing at 56 years old.
Damn. Well, I mean, it'd be a good match to watch, Yeah, absolutely.
Dude still got it. Yeah, he still got it. Up next,
Mercedes. Let's just jump to Mercedes.
No, we're not
and Jamie Hayter.
Stop it. We got Tony first. You like Tony. Tony and Mina. Mina Shirakawa. So Mina beat Tony
Shirakawa
is how they say it on TV.
Whatever.
How do you say it in Japanese, really?
Let me see her name again.
Here you go.
Oh, it is a W. Shirakawa.
Mina.
So that's Mina Shirakawa.
But anyway, Mina is a badass. So she beats Tony in a qualifying match for the world title because Tony needs something to do. Because here's what they've done at AEW, and they did the same thing with the Gunther match. The winners of the Owen Hart Cup matches are going to be the main events at All In, or the challengers anyway, for the world titles. So you're talking about All In being in July in Texas, and they're going to decide that on the 25th of May, who is going to be in both of those matches. Oh. So Tony has to have something to do, so she's wrestling Mina. And they probably will have a pretty good wrestling match.
Did Mercedes wrestle her?
Yes.
And they had a good match?
Yeah, but I think Mercedes wrestled her, and Mercedes lost one of her Japanese titles.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, she did.
Pretty sure. But anyway, so obviously I think Tony wins this. I think the big match for All In, and now you can get to it. Talk to us about Mercedes. You got Mercedes, Jamie Hayter here. This is for the Owen Cup Women's Final. Using Owen Hart's name, it's his legacy for AEW. Who do you got? Jamie Hayter, the former women's champion, or Mercedes Moné, the undefeated in AEW anyway, TBS champion?
Well, how's Jamie Hayter been doing?
I mean, she's been fine, but the problem was she was injured for so long. And
Yeah.
Tony has this thing where he cycles his favorite toys in and out.
But from what I saw her pretty strong.
Yeah, Hayter has been very good.
Yeah. I thought she was doing good. So, and I mean, Mercedes has been picking it up. So, I mean, this could be a good match.
Maria, please confirm that you think this could be the match of the night because you are the AEW fan. Do you think this could be the match of the night? Is that what you're saying, Maria?
Seriously, come on. I
And
mean, you've got my boy Ricochet in there. Come on.
Yeah, she may not be wrong. So, may not be wrong at all.
Yeah, will be a good match to watch, definitely.
And I would agree that Mercedes has really had her foot on the gas pedal as of late.
Yeah, she has. Yep. Good for her.
I would definitely agree with that. The other thing is
I don't know. Will Ospreay and Hangman Page though could have a good one.
Yeah. So it has potential to be. So yeah, Maria agrees. It has potential to be. And Stipo's here. I forgot to acknowledge you, Stipo. I'm sorry. I'd like Hayter to go over. She's a great UK wrestler. That is also true. They've had some really good. I mean, Hayter's had some really good matches in AEW. She wrestles strong. She doesn't wrestle kind of a weak style, so it's really good, I think.
She's got a lot to prove, though. So
yeah, but that injury, like I said, that injury completely derailed her. And I think this is Mercedes to lose Madusa because I feel, as you would say, the money match is Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm, All In at the stadium in Texas in July. That's what I think they're going for. Now, I could be completely wrong, and I'll be okay with that. But I think that's the goal: Mercedes versus Toni Storm for the title. And God help us if they put it on Mercedes Moné. You guys will never hear the end of it, ever.
Oh my God!
Because Toni Storm is awesome. So then we have Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page. I don't see any reason why this match shouldn't go on last, but we're going to talk about Anarchy in a minute. These guys have the potential to tear the house down. And these are two of AEW's really, really good corner blocks or cornerstones. I just don't know I don't know that I would have put this Ospreay versus Hangman. Because Hangman's doing his little character arc where he's kind of moving out of being a heel. Ospreay, of course, is moving up. Winner faces, presumably, Jon Moxley for the AEW World title in July.
Who have we seen enough with Moxley? Page or Ospreay?
Neither one of these guys have really touched Moxley. There was a four-way that Moxley was involved in with Hangman in December.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they really didn't touch.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, Paige has been there from birth, and it's just a staple in that company. And Will Ospreay, I mean, this would be a good jump for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think Ospreay is the second best professional wrestler in the company. As long as Kenny Omega has a breath in his body, it's him. But that's just my opinion. I know there are people that gravitate more to Ospreay's style, which is cool. You know, everybody's got their own opinion. But that's what I was saying about AEW when we opened this conversation. They're very top heavy. You've got Omega, you've got Ospreay, you've got Swerve, you've got Hangman, MJF when he's not dicking around there. You've got an up and
Yeah,
coming
where's he
Kyle
been
Clay.
lately?
He's messing with the Hurt Syndicate with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. So I
Oh,
mean, it is what it is. But my point to say that is they are very heavy. And then of course you've got Darby Allin, who conquered Mount Everest and survived.
yeah, yay.
Congratulations to him. So at some point, as long as he doesn't trip going down the mountain, he's going to come back.
Oh, for fuck's
And
sake.
look, that would be his luck. You talk about all the stupid bullshit he does in the ring, and he broke his foot
Oh,
against Jay White in a basic jump off of the apron. So don't start with me, lady. You're always mad at me, but don't start. Don't start.
whatever. I hate wrestling.
Yeah, you hate wrestling, and this is why we hate wrestling.
Too many
So
decisions. I'm just skipping to that. What's some backstage politics?
oh, hold on. That's anarchy in the arena.
I'm
This is
done.
backstage politics. You got 97 people in this match, and it hasn't been announced yet.
That's what I mean. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So anarchy in the
Skip.
arena it's part of their tentpole event. That's all I'm saying. And so this is something that they've come to do. They're going to have maybe 6 or 7 people on each team in this match,
Huh.
and it's going to be pre-recorded and a spot fest and all that stuff.
Huh. Interesting.
So
Men
anyway.
and women?
Men and women, yes, because Willow and Marina Shafir, excuse me, who you like so much,
Yes.
will be in.
Okay.
It looks like, based on what happened Wednesday. They're also putting Samoa Joe in it, which he's just a badass. Like, they had him lose to John Moxley, and I understand Gabe Kidd helped him lose, but like,
See,
Samoa
that
Joe
should have never happened.
Yeah, Joe should never lose on television in a
No.
cage match.
Nope.
No.
No.
One of the
That was
best
dumb.
cage matches I ever saw.
Who the fuck booked that? That's what we're talking about. They need to get a grip on their whole fucking shit.
One of the best cage matches I ever saw was Joe versus Angle in TNA. And people say LOL TNA all the time. But we're going to talk about it sometime when you look at all the talent that went through TNA.
Yeah,
And
a
how
lot.
there is a ton of wrestling talent. Kurt Angle's best years were probably in TNA when he was hooked on drugs. And that's saying something. Like, I mean, he had fantastic wrestling years in WWE, but he had an even longer career in TNA while he was on drugs.
Look at Reed Thundercat. That's pretty good.
Let's see. AEW should have had a heel at the top of Everest like Wardlow. Spear Darby, stop him from getting to the peak. My man, I like this guy.
That's
Please
great.
Subscribe, join the party.
I like that a lot.
See, because the thing is, we'll make fun of Darby real quick and we'll wrap it up. With Darby, he did the highest backflip in recorded history. Bitch, you're on Mount Everest. Of course you did the highest backflip in recorded history. Get away from me. Like,
oh, that's so good.
Why do you hate Sasha Banks? The only person that deserves that time. Oh, don't get me started. Nia is wonderful, CJ. I don't have time to speak to you about this tonight. You need to go back and listen to our other episodes that involve my dislike for Sasha Banks / Mercedes.
And my love for Britt Baker.
Yeah, and Medusa's love for Britt Baker. The Dentist is a personal favorite of Trash Talk. And some of you will figure out why in a little bit.
Go watch the other episodes. Okay, so I hate wrestling. What are some of the backstage politics happening today?
I hate wrestling. What are the backstage politics happening today? The question was, what I'm saying is it's the same backstage politics that were happening 30 years ago. Who do you know? Who's your boy? How can we get involved? Why can we say yes or no to something that our boss is telling us to do? That is just part of the show. I'm not saying it's grotesque or dirty or what do you like to say, Medusa? Things that you won't do. Just remind me, you have a very explicit way you say it. If it's not illegal or immoral or unethical, isn't that
unethical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are things you say no to.
Absolutely. if it's unethical, immoral, or illegal.
But if
But
your boss asks you to do it, why are you politicking? That was my point. Is that there are people jockeying for position? Rumor has it, AEW, talking about AEW, the Bobby Lashley Swerve program ended because Bobby Lashley wasn't going to do business with Swerve. It's your fucking job to do business. Swerve is the cornerstone of AEW. You are on the Social Security plan. What the fuck are we
you're on the
talking about
Social
here?
Security plan.
Yeah. Bitches drawing Medicare in AEW. Why do you care if you're helping make Swerve Strickland?
Right.
Backstage politics, CM Punk versus the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega. A
Right.
whole shitty thing. So my question is, it still exists in wrestling. We can pick on WWE too. Nobody can tell me that there wasn't some negotiating between Roman and Punk and Seth to get to
Oh,
where they've
please.
gotten. You know there was. You know all three of them ain't going to do business.
No.
They all had to
Punk,
be. They all had to.
Punk got a new bus.
Punk got a new bus, yeah, and a contract, and a promise that you'll be the next Shawn Michaels in NXT.
Yeah.
At least that's the
Yep.
rumor we all heard. That's what he said he wants to do. Is he wants to be the trainer at NXT when he's
Yes.
done.
Yep.
Um, but Shawn is still there, so until he's
Yeah,
gone.
but you know what? Sean will always be there, kind of
Yep.
like Bruce Pritchard.
Yep. Yeah, and
And
that's
I'm sure he would like to, he'll probably help out, but I'm sure he'd like to step away and start taking that role. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, you talk about backstage politics, or we talk about politics in wrestling. Think about the politics of someone like Bruce Pritchard, who grew up under the learning tree of Vince McMahon, who has to hear all these horrible, godful accusations about somebody who he loves and adores, admires, and respects,
Yeah.
and
Well,
worked closest to almost anybody, more so than almost anybody. Bruce was closer to Vince.
he may know everything, but I will tell you about Bruce Pritchard. That man was the kindest to me. God, he was so nice. So nice. He spent an hour with me on the phone one time, right before I started even thinking about podcasting, whatever, fucking 10 years ago. And he sat down, he spoke to me, he told me about the ins and outs and the great things that he's doing. And this is when he first started his podcast. He says, it's so weird. It's this podcast thing, and people are just loving it. And that's when it was really starting to roll. And they were making good money. And he was so kind. He did not have to spend an hour with me, but he did. And I love the man for that. Plus, he's got one of the best brains in the business.
Mm-hmm. Very, very highly intelligent into the
Yeah.
wrestling business. But that was my point with the backstage politics, the reasons we hate wrestling. And then, let's face it, WWE couldn't have survived in 2025, the things that happened in the 80s and 90s, if there was Twitter and X and everything else.
Oh, God, no. Guys, if we had X back in my day, I can guarantee you half the men that you think are your heroes would be in prison. They would be in prison. Yeah. Half the shit you hear is just what you hear, but half the shit that I know, god damn, those motherfuckers would be in prison.
Yeah, and that's the soundbite of the night, but that is genuinely the truth. I mean, you know, like, and I pick on Ric Flair on this show mostly
Speaking of
because
being in prison, did you hear what happened to Harvey Weinstein?
what
Besides him
happened to
get
Harvey?
so he was just diagnosed with Meniere's or something. It's gangrene of the genitals.
It couldn't happen to a nicer dickhead.
Right. Be careful, people. Karma has a way of fucking hitting you back.
Yeah, you could never happen to a nicer dickhead, genuinely speaking. I don't know. God, that's bad.
Someone don't
Gangrene of
like
the
Becky.
genital. Yeah, so CJ loves and
Bailey.
obviously it's borderline like you on Netflix loves Bailey. Um that's something we want to talk about though. And CJ,
What?
I'm only teasing you for a second. Fan etiquette is why we hate wrestling. Um, people act like
Douchebags.
civil human beings. Don't be a bunch of dipshits and assholes. I mean, don't bring a bag of stuff to have somebody sign that you followed in an airport.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not
No.
cool.
You mean, what's her name?
Don't stalk Oscar. How about that one?
Yeah, don't stalk Asuka because you freaked the fuck her out.
Oh yeah,
And then
I don't know that she wants to come back to wrestling, Medusa.
I
I think
she
the
was
injury is
so
done.
fucked. Yeah, Americans are weird.
Yeah.
Or whoever they were. And then Rhea fucking called out some fans. What was it? We just can't please you wrestlers. You're all for us and you're yay, 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 and the next you fucking hate us for what we just did or something. I'm like, oh damn.
But see, you couldn't do that back in the 90s.
No.
You were not allowed to shit where you eat. And what I mean by that is the fans are the ones that pay the tickets, buy the merchandise. Now it's almost like fans want to be part of the show. What do you think on that?
When what? Say that again.
Like
The what?
fans want to be part of it all now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, even people were saying that the fans were writing the show for a while because of their interaction. And there was too much control of the fans having the interaction, determining which way it goes, almost because it could be one of the highest, biggest angles and it's supposed to go a certain way and the crowd will fucking I mean, they're supposed to be booing the motherfucker, and all of a sudden they're chanting his name and yelling and screaming, yay. And it's not what they fucking wrote. So, and either they cave or they continue to do what they do. And you write your fans into it to make them, if you do it long enough, they will follow. And again, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But the problem is that there's so you've with social media, the good and the bad of it is that it's good because you get the social media. The bad is that it also controls what you put out. It's a shit show.
Well, not only
Ooh,
that, but even, as somebody who works with you, fans think now they have some sort of relationship with you because they follow you on social media and they
yeah.
comment on your posts or they like your posts
And
and
if
they think,
God forbid if you like something, because then all of a sudden you're your
yeah,
fucking family, and then you're getting cursed out in the DMs.
and
Oof.
we've got permission all of a sudden to
Yes.
invade your personal space and to talk to you out of turn. That's what I'm talking about, guys, when I say be a good person, because this is why wrestlers hate wrestling. Like, this is one of the reasons wrestlers hate wrestling. You see these horrible stories like Asuka being stalked to the point where she is putting shit on social media so that people realize she's being stalked and to quit stalking her. Um, and no one should ever feel unsafe in their home. Like, that is such a violation.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, what was
nobody
her
should
name?
ever.
Daria, when they broke into her house, right?
Oh shit. Yeah, who was that? Somebody help us out.
And the donut girl. The donut girls.
I
She
thought
has
they
an
broke.
OnlyFans page, the blonde, and then the other one just got let go.
Um, well, they wouldn't break
Yes.
into Baszler's house. She'd murder somebody. Sonya
Sonia
Deville.
Deville.
That's
That's
exactly
it.
who it was. Yep, that's
Yeah.
exactly who it was. Thank you, Ackerley. Excuse me. Um, no, just looking over this, the you know, talk about backstage antics, things that leave a permanent imprint on people that are victimized by other people who think it's a fucking joke.
Who's got a pistol permit?
That must be Sonya Deville.
Oh, fuck yeah. I've had
Good for
mine for
her.
over 20 years.
Yeah,
I don't mess
good for her.
around.
Yeah, good for her.
I carry my
Um,
gun in my boot when I ride my Harley.
we are Second Amendment believers here at Trash Talk. Yeah.
Yes, I am I mean, I don't hunt though. I can't kill. I mean, if the world shut down and there wasn't, and you had to, I guess you'd have to learn to fend for yourself. I get it, but I can't go hunting.
Stipo says it was Daria Buranado. Baronato?
Yeah, that's her real name, Bernado. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What is this? So we are talking about all of that. Backstage politics, antics, system, behavior, and media. So we've already summed it all up.
That's why you hate wrestling. I mean, you know
Fuck.
somebody who knows somebody who's going to get a spot that they probably haven't deserved or doesn't earn, you know?
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
and how many times have you seen that in your career? Don't answer that. It's a rhetorical question. But I mean, but you get what I'm saying. When this is why you hate wrestling, and one thing I wanted to point out because Medusa and I have talked about it is fans are fans who pay for a ticket. You pay to be involved in that aspect of the show.
Just in that arena, and you're done.
But that's it. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Stop it right there.
And feel
Um,
and feel happy if someone acknowledges you on the social media, like, "Oh, thank you. That was nice. Oh, you drew a nice picture. Thank you." And
yeah.
then that's it.
And that is just, like I said, that is just the way I see it as a wrestling fan. Um, who has been to some of these conventions and seen some bad behavior. I'm just like, what the fuck y'all doing? Like that is
Man.
not
And oh,
acceptable.
Saraya was the latest one where she was like, "Why do y'all have to come up and kiss me?"
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was good.
that was another
I
one.
mean, some fucker tries to put his lips on mine, they will fucking see my knuckles.
Well, Deuce, I don't know if anyone's told you, including your husband lately, but you put off this vibe that's nice to meet you, don't fuck with me. I think you told
Oh,
Paul Heyman that one time.
when I
But
first met him. It was
when
my
you first
first
met
words
him,
out of my mouth to Paul Heyman. "Nice to
nice to
meet
meet
with you. Don't fuck with me."
you, don't fuck with me. So I mean you put off that vibe and that aura, as the kids say, anyhow. I don't know that anybody's gonna try to kiss you.
Oh, I better get a big hug and kiss from you, Red, when I see you in Charlotte.
Guys, when I come back with the black eye, you'll know what happened
I'm
because
gonna
she
both of them, motherfucker, and a bloody nose. You'll have Kleenex hanging out of your nose when you come back.
exactly. So, anyway, that concludes trash talk for today.
Yeah,
Hopefully, you've
not
all had
bad. It was
fun.
good. It was a good one, guys.
Yeah,
And
I
I
appreciate.
again, I don't know when you're gonna be available, a-hole, but
Well, the problem is my days off have been rotating between Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you know what Thursday is? We didn't even mention it.
yeah,
Thur-
Thursdays is Twitch night.
Thursdays is Twitch night, and we
Yeah, this
don't mess with
Thursday,
Twitch.
though, I'm gonna be a little late. I'm not gonna be able to start till, like, around 9:30-ish.
Uh-oh, 9:30, guys. You heard it, Eastern
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Um, I didn't even see Digi here today. Damn it, Digi. What
Yeah,
in the
damn it,
world?
Digi. It's all your fucking fault,
I,
Digi.
I, I see Winners here. I didn't see Digi. I see C
And
Notes here.
our porn star's here. That's
Yeah, we
good.
got Mortis. I'm not calling him by
Or
that new name.
you
Fuck that.
cannot his new name, I just can't do it.
It's just like Twitter. We're not calling you by that, dude. It's Morty. You
It's
Morty
Morty to
from
us.
from Uranus, Missouri.
From
Um,
Uranus, it's Morty.
from Uranus to mine is fucking Morty. Okay.
Those are strong words, by the way. Thank you
Oh,
for the stream and Big Red. Oh, you're
we
welcome.
appreciate you, Steepo. Like I said, we love all of you guys.
Yeah, just
And
make
we
sure you go check
appreciate.
out the rest of the issues on our YouTube, though, and give them likes, give the comments. We love those comments and even the negative ones. In fact, you get fucking Red riled up, and then he goes ape shit on your fucking comments, and then he comes back to me, he goes, I think I really went off too strong. I said, no, you just let it go. Just be yourself. Fuck.
Well, the problem is, it's one thing for me to be as quick as I am on the mic when we're live. If I have a second to think about a response,
No. That's
then
even more deep shit. You sound no, that's just stupid. Then you sound stupid. When you have to think about it, no, don't.
I have multiple times, ma'am, if I may,
Hey,
ma'am,
man.
ma'am, I have deleted what I was writing and just moved on.
Oh,
Just moved on. So, because
you
some
aired
people
your
take,
dirty laundry on our page. That's great.
yeah, dirty laundry because I wear socks with my shoes
Yeah, you're
all the
gonna be
time.
fucking barefoot too. That's another thing. You have tissues out of your nose, you have black eyes, and you're gonna come back barefoot.
She has this obsession, in case those of you are new, with my feet, which she's never going to see. And I don't understand why.
I
She
tried
thinks
showing you
she's
my
going to see
naked
my
feet.
feet.
There. There you go. There. So yeah, I'll make sure I post something to piss you off. Okay, that'll be good. Get them. Get them, Steepo.
The problem is I have all their handles and I know who they are. So that doesn't really
Oh.
work.
Hey,
So,
make up a name, dude.
yeah, you need an alias, a also known as, AKA.
Fictitious. Hey, get Medusa socks. Do you have
I have
Medusa
Medusa
socks?
socks. I
Oh,
have
you
3
do.
pairs of Medusa socks. Here's the
Oh.
problem with them. They're winter socks because they are heavy as hell.
No, but they're odor eaters, sweat absorbent, and they're the fucking best. So there.
They're still winter socks. It is 83 degrees here in Goldsboro.
Okay, I agree with you. It's fucking blistering balls hot. They are. All right, guys, until you hear from us next time, I thank you. Welcome to the Trash Talk Show. This is Medusa and Red, and we thank you. We will see you here hopefully maybe next Tuesday, but we have to see what Red's schedule's like. Don't worry, you'll all be informed.
See y'all next
Bye.
time.